What is up, guys? Welcome back to Call Me Old Fashioned, where we talk everything bourbon, whiskey, and of course, old fashions. We are moving into that late night pour edition of the stream. We just got done going over all the pickups that we did for March, and now we're just kind of hanging out, kicking back, gonna have a drink. I'm gonna start off with an old fashioned. The question though is, what should I make the old fashioned with? Because originally I was thinking the peerless, but I'm thinking we kind of maybe dial up something different. You know what I mean? A little different kind of pour going. So, what should we make it with? Is the question. I don't know. I don't know what I want an old fashioned with. KBV says, "Hey brother, what is up? Welcome back to the stream. Happy Friday." I'm debating what should I make an old fashioned with. You're first in here. Let me know. Not this. I'm trying to do something different. I mean, I could make a Four Roses one. I feel like I did that last time though, but it was good. It was real good. I don't know. I'm torn. I'm torn between them. I could do another New Rift 8-year. That one's solid. This solid old fashioned for sure. He says I'm thinking Russell's or something oaked. I like oaked. The Russells, I'm not making another Russell's 15 old fashioned right now. Something oaked. What do I have? Unless you're just trying to say the 13th colony. Maybe make it a rye based. Okay, I like where your head's at. We can do like a whole different old fashioned that I'm even used to. How about that? Because I got a little Elijah Craig spiced old fashioned cocktail syrup, and we can do let's do the New Rift 8-year rye. Ooh, early times? No, I'm okay. North Florida says high times, good times, early times. What's up, everybody? I'm not actually a fan of the early times for some reason. Black top. I have the blue top. So, but let's make an old fashioned with the New Rift 8-year rye, and we're gonna commingle it with a little Elijah Craig. Oh shit. Spiced old fashioned cocktail syrup. This one's meant for the rye because they do have a black walnut one. Here, that's what comes in. You can get these in like gift boxes around the Christmas time. Usually it comes with like a jig, this, and like Elijah Craig small batch. So let's pour it up. Let's just do this. I just feel like this is gonna be good. You know what I mean? Like you guys draw it up, I knock it out of the park. That's all we do. So this one, just so you guys know, the New Rift 8-year is a 95.5 mash bill. Obviously 100 proof. So one downside, I think they're 8-year. Like they should have just gave it a little bit more. There we go. Bring her out nice up front, center, next to Elijah Craig. Chris says, I really want to try the chocolate old fashioned you made on your short reel. Oh, bro, that one is like, that one's money. Now the garnish is a little much. You don't have to do the garnish. But if you just have like a bourbon that has a chocolate note, and that could be, I mean, this is kind of extreme, but the Old Forester's 1924, really almost any double oak has a chocolate note in my opinion, but the Woodford's was really good for it. You could use Peerless if you wanted to. The Nulu double oaked as well. Those pair would pair really well with it. But yeah, a double oaked, one of those bourbons with a chocolate note, chocolate bitters, and then I also put like a dash of the cherry bitters too, the spice cherry bitters, along with cherry and a chocolate garnish. That one's money. That one's like dessert when you're not trying to be dessert. You know what I mean? Like it hits in the right spots for sure. KBV says Elijah Craig's pretty solid. I heard the new releases weren't all that. In my opinion, I haven't really bought Elijah Craig in the past year. Not that they're bad, but they're good and they're kind of basic Kentucky bourbon with a couple zing and zangs. I give them as gifts quite often. As far as like the gift sets, I think those are really good gift sets with the mixers because a lot of people that I gift, they're more cocktail peoples than just bourbon straight up. But yeah, so that's about. I don't care for the toasted or the barrel proof or any of that. I'd rather get something else completely different. So rye old fashioned. Cheers, boys. KBU says I watched a short on that sexy old fashioned the other day. Vanilla extract was a genius. I'm here for it. Chris says I have to find the Mexican chocolate bitters you had when you made it. Made it though. I still have them. Oh, I put all my stuff over here. So you can actually get these on like Amazon for fairly cheap if you wanted to. It's the Hella brand. That is here. Hella brand Mexican chocolate bitters. You can get the Woodfords as well. Woodfords actually has really good chocolate bitters. But then also I have like a honey crisp apple old fashioned that I made, and I use this apple blossom bitters from Hella as well. Hella is a good brand. So they have some pretty good bitters in general. Christian says I made a benchmark foolproof old fashioned. Delicious. Well, I just made an Elijah Craig spiced old fashioned with New Riff's 8-year rye. And I do have to say, it's actually really good. KBB out here with a monster recommendation because that hit the spot. I was looking for something a little bit different. That hit the spot. That and I have my clear ice. No? Nobody? I need all the credit for that, by the way, because normally I have kitchen ice. So Louis says, "What up, gentlemen? Been a while. Found a 7-year uncut, unfiltered MGP copper and cast for $42. There we go. I mean, I get it's MGP, but still, I'm here for it. I haven't had it, but I'd try it. KBB says, "Oh my God, dude, I wanted to pick your brain about that Nulu. How many different bottles do you have? 122 proof? Oof, never heard of Nulu. Very surprised to see something so recommended. Nulu? Fuck yeah, dude. Nulu's money. Now, Nulu's MGP as well, I believe. Yeah, distilled by MGP. Nulu's big on like their finishes, kind of like Penelope, but like in a different way. They kind of gravitate more towards the higher proof stuff. This is 6-year, 6-month age. This is a single barrel though from Sealbox. Bro, it's good. It's really good. One of the best pours I had last year. Unfortunately, I know I won't be able to find another one. This is also a double oak wheated bourbon, just so you know. So it's not the normal double oak. This is the wheated version. I've never had another wheated double oak, but it hits all the right spots. It's a 51% corn mash bill, 45% wheat, 4% malted barley. Delicious. Delicious. The 122 proof does, I mean, it brings it together, but it hits the right spots for sure. He said, "Glad you like it, brother." I mean, it's good. Clear applause for the clear. Hold on. I think he said Q. Um, that's funny. No, yeah, no, for real, for real. I'm taking all the credit. Because I had crappy ice for so long. You know how many people came in here and started talking shit about my ice? Handful. Now, when I got the clear ice, they're nowhere to be found. I'm just saying. KBU says I'm a higher proof kind of guy, so I really get behind that. He's like, wow, double oak and weeded. I know. For a while, I kind of like fought off, being like, ooh, I don't need the higher proof. The more, the longer I'm in kind of whiskey and trying different things, I really do think after your palate gets acclimated, after your tasting notes and your palate gets used to being able to tell different tasting notes, I really do think the higher proof is more what we want when we're in that kind of mode. But I mean, I'm down to drink whatever. Don't get me wrong, but I really do enjoy a lot of the higher proof ones. Now, when you get above 120, 125 proof, then we just start dancing around like how proofy can we get it? But I still like a good 115 proofer. So Juan says that's a mighty fine ice. Hey, just saying. Give you a little peek inside the glass. Can I even get focus on that? You can't even see it. It's like John Cena in there. You can't see it. It's see through. KBB says, imagine having your ice come under scrutiny. I mean, when you've been around the channel and you do as weird shit as I do, they come after you. You should see the TikTok. The TikTok's where they get after it. But I've had some people come in here. I don't really. It doesn't bother me at all. I actually enjoy it quite a bit. It's highly entertaining. But Chris says Nulu is a great representation of good MGP that is finished well. Agreed. Same thing as Penelope. Those two brands alone made me re-look at MGP a different way. Because MGP, you just think, oh, MGP, whatever. Penelope getting some love from them. Nulu's getting some love from them. And I'm like, here we go. Because Nulu's came out with some like creme brulee finished, and they kind of gravitate more towards the higher proof stuff. They got some low proof stuff too, don't get me wrong. But it really gives me a really cool expression. Versus Penelope, they kind of gravitate more towards like 100 and under, on average. They have other stuff too, um, but they finish it a different way, So I'm all game for that stuff. So Juan says, should I blend this Eagle Rare with E.H. Taylor or Stag? Stag. I like the E.H. Taylor, but I feel like because the proof is so similar, it's just going to be similar. I think the Stag is going to bow it up a little bit. It may water down the Stag, but it may make the Eagle Rare better. You know what I mean? Do both. Fuck it. But Stag first if you can. I did. So Chris is right too. Sorry, this is the mic a couple times. Chris says, I think I heard Nulu began to distill now, if I'm not mistaken. I believe I heard that as well. I've not like double checked it, but I heard like what MGP did basically is they test ran a bunch of brands and said, all right, who do we want to be our workhorse? And Penelope won, So I think Nulu was like, hey, we're going to slowly take our stuff. We're going to back up over here and we're going to start distilling our own. I believe. I don't know if that's an effect or if that's what's on the shelves, but for the bottle I have, it is MGP distilled in Indiana. So, Before says 13th Colony 113 is Indiana's distilled. Whoa, what do you mean Indiana distilled? 13th Colony does their own distilling. Did they just try to get one over on us? That's crazy. No. You almost had me there. I don't have the 113. That was the double oak I was looking at. Has anybody entered into the 2025 edition of the 13th Colony Double Oak, lottery in a sense? 13th Colony on their website has a, I think it's 90 bottles or 900 bottles. I can't remember which one. It's 90 or 900 that they're doing a lottery for, and whoever wins, I think it's 90. Now that I'm saying it out loud. It's like, look it up, it's MGP. We've been bamboozled, boys. Because that's just like the same as getting like another maple finish Penelope, higher proof. I'm not a fan of that. I don't like that. I like 13th Colony a lot because it's 13th Colony. I wonder if it's just like sourced or if it's their own distillate. Like their own mash bill, I mean, not distillate. I like how they avoid putting that on the website. You said maple sugar stave. Wasn't it maple? Maple wood. Aged in Georgia. Yeah, but that's like. I mean, it does say aged 5 to 6 years in southern Georgia, but if they had them distill it for them with their own mash bill and they just brought it right over, I won't be as mad. But if you're just grabbing juice, because 13th Colony has been like really good. Fuck me, I gotta check my other bottle now. This is another 2024 release for their Southern Straight Bourbon Whiskey. Oh, motherfucker. They got us, boys. They got us. Cindy Presley says, can you give me a shout out? My name's Abel. What up? Welcome to the stream. My bottle says distilled in Indiana too. Distilled in Indiana, aged and bottled by 13th Colony Distilleries, LLC. 13th Colony doesn't distill their own stuff? What's happening? What's happening here? I'm shooketh. I'll have to look into that because I've been all wrong now. If it's MGP just being aged different, that's crazy. They gotta distill their own stuff, right? What's happening? I'm gonna have to do a whole like in deep dive investigation video now. But they're good. I will say, even that, if that's even if that was source juice, that is completely different because that's all leather shoe. North Florida says they do distill their own juice, but they also source. So they're just distilling the stuff that doesn't go to me? I'm kidding. My double oak does not say distilled in Indiana, so. That's what I'm saying. Maybe they have, I don't know. That's why I said I'll look into it. I'm not going to completely bash or talk smack about a company unless I really know the facts of that. Because it doesn't, I'm like 90% sure that they distill their own. So like how am I just now noticing there's distilled in Indiana? Like, are they distilling in Indiana and they're shipping it over? I don't know. I don't know everything. I don't try to claim I do. But I do know. That's crazy. That is crazy. Anyways, North Florida says time for some short barrel CB2. Sourcing can be really good. I'm not saying sourcing can't, but one of my favorite parts about 13th Colony was like distilled, bottled, and aged in Georgia. I was like, that's fun. Just like St. Augustine. St. Augustine is distilled in St. Augustine and aged and bottled and everything in their little distillery here right down the road. Now, that's not everybody's favorite by any means. Totally get that. But it's good. It's unique. So I was pumped for the 13th Colony stuff. But if it's just like another, like, I'm not saying it is, but if it was another version of Nulu or Penelope or any of the other ones, I'd be a little upset that I wasn't aware of that. I feel like you should let us know. It's probably like some weird, like, circumstances, if I had to guess. Northwest says, smoke them if you got them. I would love a good cigar right now, but I don't want to go all the way outside. It was hailing here earlier. Raining, hail hitting the back porch area, and I was like, oh shit. What are we going to do? Call MGP and ask for permission? I'm kidding. No, I'd love to do that, honestly, but who knows? I'd love to do a barrel pick with them too, eventually. Like, I feel like they would be like a cool brand. Like, I mean, obviously you can do the bigger brands too, but I think like 13th Colony, even St. Augustine's, like some of the local stuff, that'd be fun to do. That, and I wouldn't have to drive like 14 hours to do it, but whatever. Juan says, all that I can say about this Eagle Rare and Stag blend is that it tastes like a slightly oakier, more tame stag. Well, what's wrong with that? I get it. Stag's kind of known for being proof, punch you in the face. Eagle Rare kind of taming it down. The only issue was I expected it just to be like the E.H. Taylor, just to be like kind of the same thing, just less of it all. So I figured maybe the Stag could like prop the other one up as far as like the proof wise goes. So if you're just now tuning in, boys, drop a little like on the stream. Subscribe if you haven't already. What are we doing? We're on the road with 25 hundo. It's not even a big ask, but that makes us 1/4 of the way there to 10,000. Then only 10% from there to 100,000. Just saying. It says for distillery, undisclosed Indiana and 13th Colony. Well, I'll have to call them up. Hello? Voicemail? I'm kidding. I'm not calling them. I'll ask around. I'll Google it a different way. I just got super fucking tired. Anyways, what are you guys sipping on? Obviously, North Florida is doing a little short barrel cigar blend. What else are you guys having? Juan's having a little blend fest over there with all his fancy bourbon from his March Madness. I'm having a little rye old fashioned. Probably gonna move to a pour. The old fashioned was good. It was refreshing, but I feel like the pour may have been a little bit better off, but I feel like I should go for something I haven't had in a really long time as far as pours wise goes. So we could do, I mean, I really didn't drink a lot of the Jack, but maybe, I don't know. You guys let me know. Juan says, don't get me wrong, it's good. But the cherry and the brown notes from the stag overpower the notes from Eagle Rare. Good nonetheless. Well, it's the whole fun part about blending is you kind of learn some and then you drink some. I've also had an easy distillery to take over. Not that I necessarily would because they don't really have a bunch of stuff that we would probably talk about, but they do have a decently good rye. They have some bourbon, but it's all sourced from MGP as well. Like they have like a 10-year age and stuff like that. It's not bad, but it's straight up just normal MGP, no weird finish, just barrel taken from them, bottled in their bottles. The rye is 100% theirs though. They distill their own rye. They got a cool label though. It was a fun experience at the distillery. We kind of did a quick tour, and part of the tour that you get a flight, and then I got a second flight, and they have a ton of weird finish stuff that's not part of the tour because it's probably MGP, but it was all pretty good. Definitely a fun experience for fairly cheap. In Jacksonville, it's right next to the Jag Stadium, so if you guys are local, go ahead over there. Try that. Try that one. Maybe a little Jack 10. It's been a minute. Liz says, cheers, boys. Hope everyone is having a good night. We're tired. We're tired. Go for a good nappy. I can't see it. Joe V05 just subscribed. Joe, welcome to the family. Louis says, I like 1792 single barrel and full proof. Blend comes in at 111 proof. You know what? Let's give full proof another shot. I feel like I've given them too many shots, but we'll see. Chris says, I'm sipping Savage and Cook, bottle and bond. It's the Bloody Butcher corn bottle. I'm very surprised. I like it. Very solid, boys. Hey, that's what we're here for. There we go. Norflor says, we were at Manifest once. They had bottles of basic offering whiskeys before the Stones concert in Jack's. Very awesome experience all around. Love Manifest. Yeah, that's the issue. Is their basic offerings were just MGP. Their rye is them. Their vodka and gin is them. Their vodka and gin was actually decent for vodka and gin. The wife liked it, but they did have a really good. I actually approve of that. The barrel aged gin was money. The rye's good. It's rye. At first they had this like 10-year bourbon that I was like, this is okay. It's nothing special, but it's decent. And especially if I thought it was coming from Jacksonville at first, I was like, they may be on something. Like as it gets older or gets different, I thought they may have been doing something, but it was just MGP. Let me pull that over. All right, let me put my new riff back. I've drank more of the new riff rye than I have the bourbon, surprisingly. Surprisingly enough. No Floor says, we just mixed it with Coke. This was like the 2021 before I was into whiskey as much. I mean, a lot of like what people kind of fail to realize, like when you're first getting into whiskey, bourbon, any of that kind of stuff, like when you start mixing it and you kind of like experience like even something like somebody may say that's not that great, or if it's MGP distiller or whatever, right? When you go from like Jack Number Seven, Jim Beam, and like basic like cheap bottles, you get something just even slightly better. Even if you mix it with Coke, you're like, hey, that's good, right? Because you don't know the difference for one, but two, it is a better made product typically in general. So that's my opinion, though. Chris says, does anyone know if 1792 Sweet Wheat is worth a try? Been curious, but haven't pulled the trigger. I haven't found it or seen it, and I probably wouldn't get it. For me, I'm not saying it's not good. A lot of people really like that bottle, but I can't speak on that one though because I'm not even a big 1792 fan. Um, the best 1792 was the pre-made old fashioned thing I found for super cheap a while ago. It just gives me a weird kind of dry mouth feeling, and I'm just not a fan of it. But we're gonna give it another shot. This bottle's probably, I don't know, close to a year old. Maybe, I don't know exactly when I got it, to be honest. So might have to hold it up upside down. It's one of those bottles that I always forget because it can't sit upside down. You know what I mean? Now we're just out here playing games, so let me not do that. Max THC says, what's your favorite bottom shelf bourbon? Between two, probably Old Granddad 114, right? Would be my best well-rounded one. And then if you're just looking for like 20-ish bucks, I would go with Benchmark Foolproof. So those two are both really good. Those are the two that I like debate back and forth with. Besides that, yeah, besides those two, I'd probably just stick with like basic like Jim Beam Black 7 year or something. I don't know. No, Florida says I like the small batch and the full proof. I don't like the small batch. I just don't like it because like literally the moment I sip it, I'm like, water. Don't know why. It's the only bourbon that really has ever done it for me. The full proof is less of that though. I don't know if that's because of the proof or whatever. And I could have weird bottles, but I don't think so because it's two at random times. Chris says benchmark single barrel is hard to beat as well for 15 bucks. Yeah, I have the bonded, the single barrel, and the full proof. I probably like it full proof single barrel bonded. Even though single barrel that I have, if it does range, is 95 proof versus 100 proof bonded. The single barrel just has a little bit more uniqueness to it, in my opinion. Still, it's like the way that proof kind of slides back, it just instantly dries sandpaper. North Florida says, I try to keep one of the 1792s on the shelf. I mean, to each his own. You know, drink what you like. I kind of give my thoughts and reviews on different bottles just so, like, that way people know my thoughts. But I'll, by all means, make your own opinions, right? I always kind of use JC as, like, a good standing point. He hasn't been in the chat lately, but he has, like, the complete opposite palate of me. And he straight up watches because he's like, if I say something's good, he's like, all right, I probably won't like it. And if I say I don't like something for a certain reason, he's like, all right, that's me. So that's how we kind of operate. Louis says, once I found foolproof 1792 store pick better than Stag Junior, now I can't pass up the store pick. In Florida, they have the store pick foolproofs all over the place. They just kind of sit around. But it's not better than Stag, in my opinion. RMZ says the two best bottom shelves on the market. Out here speaking facts. Juan says, I decided to blend some of the Blantons in the 1792 12 year. Let me tell you, those twos, nose is bomb. Easily like the nose, easily like the nose better than Eagle Rare and Stag blend. You know what I wish? Not that I could actually do it without somewhat knowing. If I included this, like I want this in a blind. I wish I could have like somebody without me even having to say that, like pull that out one day and have me blind it and really see. Because when I'm thinking about it, if I'm drinking it, I can easily tell because it dries my mouth out. But I wonder if, like, psychologically, if it's just stuck, you know? Chris says 1792 small batch was my first bottle. My palate sucks, and I thought it tasted just like Jack Daniel's Old Number 7. Am I crazy? Yeah, unfortunately, yes. Old Number 7 just has, like, there's nothing else that tastes like Old Number 7 besides Old Number 7. 1792 is not even in, like, the same ballpark as, like, taste wise. But at the end of the day, I mean, if that's what you taste, that's what you taste. Juan says, do what I did with sample bottles and have your wife pour a blind for you. You can make cool shorts. I could. But the only issue is if I know that 1792, I would almost have to hand her the bottles and just say, hey, go pick it. And hopefully she picks that one and includes it without me saying it. Because if I'm even remotely thinking that that's in there, I'll pick it out. There's no question. Um, what I mean by no question is like it dries my mouth out. I'm like dying right now. Like my tongue is dry. Like I don't know. Maybe like I'm not saying I'm allergic, but like what if I was allergic to something in that bottle? That's how much it dries my mouth out. Bloody Sports says, "What's up, bro? It's been a while, Bloody. Welcome back. Hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well. We're doing great over here. We're just kind of chilling, hanging out, having a drink. We're on the late night pour edition of the stream, on the road to 2,500, so we can give away some samples." THC said, I didn't like the 1792 small batch, but didn't hate it either. Okay, let me rephrase this, guys, just so I don't want everybody thinking I'm crazy. 1792 in general had really good flavor. I actually really enjoy the tasting notes and the flavors of 1792. The one thing, the only thing, that's a big thing for me, that I don't like about the bottle or the pours in general is the moment that I get done taking the sip, my mouth like dries out instantly. Don't know why. It's just only with 1792. And I'm like, I really don't want to have a drink where then I'm so thirsty after drinking it, you know? And I've never had it with any other bottle besides this one. So if I didn't have that, I'd be all game for it. Because it has really good tasting notes, especially the full proof has really good proof, drinks really well. It's sweet, but also got that kick to it. So like I'm game. I get where everybody likes it. It just the weird factor of it has me mind blown. Juan says my favorite bottle in the lineup is 1792 Bottle and Bond. I have the Kirkland's Bottle and Bond from Costco, which is literally just 1792 Bottle and Bond. Juan says I'm still debating on whether or not to pop the sweet wheat. I mean, life's short. Just pop it. Just saying. What are we waiting on? Life's too short. Pop your bottle. I bet you over ice, I would be okay with it. Let's do this. I mean, just a hair more. Wow, is that clear ice? It is clear ice. Thank you for noticing. It does really look really cool on the rocks on clear ice, though. I'm just saying, I'm a fan. Not that I like on the rocks that often, but I'm here for it. I still does it. I don't know why. Instantly, like my tongue just dries out. Max says, I think I drank 1792 on ice after trying it neat. I normally like everything neat. I don't really care for on the ice. I just like an old fashioned. If I'm going to have ice, I used to drink everything on. No, no, no. I don't care. I really don't like it on ice. Kind of like watered it down. And then I got like weird taste in it now. I also didn't rinse it. This had an old fashioned in it before. The old fashioned was money though, but maybe wrong move there. We're gonna go ahead and pass on that now. I'm tasting that. So, I mean, again, that's what we're kind of doing. We're just experimenting, having some fun. Juan, if you're about to blend something, let me know. Maybe I'll blend it with you. If you have something I have, obviously. That'd be cool. What I think I want to do for like the members, it's a good week to be a Gator. Bourbon Gator says, "Hey, bad week to be bourbon." You know, if I was bourbon, this would be a good week to go out on. I'm just saying, like, I'm not being picky, but if I was a good bottle of bourbon, you know, champions, I think that I'd like to be drank by champions, so I'm here for it. Juan says, "Let's freaking do it. Let's do it." You let me know what you got, and I'll try to see if I have that. North Florida says we need to get us some Osteens. We come to St. Augustine next weekend. Get us some Osteens. What's Osteens? Am I tripping here? Should I know what that is? Chris says, on ice, simply lemonade is my summer drink. It's refreshing. Hey, I know, like, I'm not like, this is like speaking in like a witch or something, but Crown Royal Blackberry with some Sprite, a little dash of lemonade, a little lime wedge on the side. I'm just saying, that's a summer drink. It was good. Sweet, but good. No, what I'm thinking I'm gonna do eventually for the members is I'm gonna pick. I'm not. We're just talking. Nothing's set in stone yet. It's just nobody hold me to it. But maybe once a month or once a quarter or something like that, we do where I pick like 3 of the members and I send them like a flight of samples, blind, of course, and then all 4 of us do like a blind tasting together and kind of see what each other's thoughts are on different pours, and it'd be different bottles throughout the month, whether if it's good ones or budget ones, whatever. You know what I mean? So I think that could be a cool way. The only caveat to that would they would have to come on stream because that just makes it fun. Osteen's shrimp, St. Augustine Beach. It's only, North Florida. I mean, sometimes I just forget where I live. So I was thinking bourbon. I go, I've never had an Osteen's bourbon. Like, what is that? I love me some good shrimp. So Bourbon Gator says I poured some bourbon in an Arnold Palmer last weekend, and it was insanely good. You pour bourbon, a little lemonade, and sweet tea. What could go wrong there? You can pour anything and that'd be good. Juan says, pick a bottle and I'll pick one. Okay, you go first. So that way I can know what I have it. What? A little deviation from the normal old fashioned slash neat. I mean, I'm game. I like to experiment with different stuff. The other week I had a whiskey ginger, which is basically just whiskey with ginger ale, but it was still good. Juan says I pretty much have all the same stuff I post in the Discord. Let me just check it. Steven says, have you ever thought about starting a beard channel where you lotion and massage ointments into the beard? Not ointments, but I got beard oil, beard balm, beard cream, beard butter, sea salt. You know, that's for like an OnlyFans for the beard. I haven't started it yet though, but I know the people want it, so it's coming soon. 2026, it's here for sure, Steven. You get the first month for free just because I love you. Let me check Juan's thing real quick. Let's see what he has here. Juan's like, oh, I only have just. Oh wait, I can look at the whole thing. That would be easier. Which all right. I'm gonna. I'm not gonna pick the stag. You just blended the stag. I'll pick E.H. Taylor's small batch. One. Well, I'll go with a small batch because I know you have that one. And of course, I do too. And then that way, if you have something else that's not on this, did my camera just die for real? Look at me, I'm frozen. What the fuck is happening with this thing? It's dying like way quicker than normal, right? It looks like I have to order that this weekend. The updated little camera inserts for the batteries. I don't know why the camera's dying that quick. Chris says I agree. It can't be easy getting your beard to look that good. You know, I wish I was saying like on Fridays. I don't really do anything to this thing. Normally, I gotta like blow dry it. I gotta do all types of shit to it. I hit it with a straightener for what the fuck? I hit it with a straightener right before the stream. That was a close up for like a second, but I didn't really do anything to it. But Mondays it looks good. Max says it's funny because last time I caught the stream, I had 1910, and this time I have 1920. Next stream, you better have 1924 because that one's my favorite. North Florida's. What the fuck is happening? Is it not dying? It's just freaking out. That's crazy. Oh, North Florida says Max will be back when he gets some 1924. I love 1924. North Florida says haven't had small batch yet, but my top, but my E.H. Taylor single barrel is my top three. Hey, I'm here for it. Max says I also have some E.H. Taylor small batch. We're gonna blend something up here in a second. Juan's gonna pick Old Fortune. I mean, fucking shit. Let's do it. That's an interesting blend because this is all dessert. That's got a little sweetness, but it's mainly spice. What are we thinking? 50-50, or you got a different percentage in mind? Juan, they're both 100 proof. So we don't have to battle the proof. We're just kind of battling taste. Just had that last night. Cheers. Hey, cheers to you. Welcome to the stream, baby. The ghosts don't like the EH Taylor. You're right, bro. The fucking ghosts are fucking with my camera. Max says, I don't think I'll be getting the 1924. Too expensive. It has been dropping in price, but I get it. It's definitely pricey. But I will say, for me, I was super hesitant on getting it because of the price originally. And I was like, it can't be that good. A lot of people saying it wasn't worth the price. It is. Let's be generous because I haven't like blind tested or anything. It's definitely in my top 10 for sure. It hits the right spots. It's sweet. It reminds me of like brownies and cinnamon. Like it screams dessert, right? But it's 10-year age, 100 proof, but it's got a lot of flavor for 100 proof. So yeah, you want to just do like 50-50? Yeah, if anybody else does have EH Taylor small batch 7 or Old Forester 1924, we're gonna blend these together, and it's kind of part of the fun, right? Just kind of see what it's working with. I'm gonna be professional, and I'm gonna measure it out, or because I'm a psychopath, one of the two. I'll do 50-50. Norfolk says, my boy Joker let me try his, and it was really good. What was the best through the What was the best, though, was the single barrel Old Forester Warehouse G47. The Old Forester single barrels, I hear, are incredible. I mean, it's crazy to say. I've never actually had one, just because they're a little pricey, and I always see them at like the weirdest times, like where I'm not really shopping for them. I've only seen the rye actually. Um, I've seen the 100 proof, but I know there's like single barrels all over the place, that high proof ones. All right. So we're 50-50 right now. I'm gonna get mine mixing together. Let it sit for a second, maybe. While Juan gets his shit together. Bro, I said that Beard OnlyFans was gonna be 2026, and Steven dipped the fuck out, didn't he? He was like, I'm out. 2026, I'll see you next year. He said, all right, poured half an ounce of each in the Glen. That's what I did. Twinsies. All right. Let's give it a little water. Water first. Let's be professionals. I was checking if this was like my first or second water bottle. If it was the second one, I didn't want to drink it all. All right. Let's dabble. I'd say dominant on the nose is 1924 for sure. It's got that. Oh, it's so good though. It's got that chocolate sweetness, caramel coming through. Max says the 1920 lacks spice to me. I like the black pepper spice I got from the Taylor. Is 24 the same? I'd say 24 is more sweet than spice for sure. But 1920 had a little kick to it. It's got that banana note though, so it gets a little tamer with that. But 1924 is like if you had like a chocolate fudge caramel sundae and it melted into a whiskey. Yeah, I mean overall, even this nose is fairly sweet. Like it just got. I mean, it's good. It's a good nose, but it's 1924 for sure. That's the more prominent one. One says I get strawberry banana sundae vibe. Strawberry banana. I get where you're coming with the banana. I don't get any like berry right now. The sundae vibe definitely fits, right? Chocolate, maybe a little caramel vibe, like super sweetness coming through. I gotta try it. Hmm. If you tried it first, like if you had a sip, I get where you're coming from. Like that, like almost like sweetness from the E.H. Taylor, where it's typically that normal Buffalo Trace, where it's like red berries slash like cherries, mixing in with that 1924 does kind of feel more like strawberry banana sundaes, but it's got like a more of like a red fruit style. I wish I had just a couple more proof points to be honest. Like I feel like it would take it a lot farther. I get more like berries slash cherries on the back end. It still kind of hits over with like the normal like creamy vanilla. What is that? Might be burnt like a burnt caramel. I don't know. I may have just got a weird note there. Juan says, "Yeah, I get strawberry." Oh, he's like, "I always get the berry note on E.H. Taylor." Yeah, like E.H. Taylor got like red fruits, berries, cherry vibes, just depending on how you kind of interpret it. Um, that's all like all Buffalo Trace stuff, especially H. Taylor and and like Blanton's too have that same kind of note to me. Max says I could see that red fruit on the Buffalo Trace juice mixed with the dessertness of the Old Forester. Facts. Um, Juan says yes. I should have said that. Said I got that on the first sip. Nose was definitely banana forward. Yeah, the nose is the nose definitely had a little bit of banana on it with the sweetness. I say at first, I don't know, maybe need a couple more swirls or something. But at first, I got all 1924. But the more it kind of like grooved together, the Eve Taylor kind of started showing out a little bit. I got a little bit of that sweetness from it over there, a little bit more of the spice turned into like the banana, but it was like bananas and chocolate, which was nice. A little caramel too. It's always there though, but Ricky C said small batch is like $80. No, I don't think so. Um, Northfloor says all but Buffalo Trace mash bills give me that cherry red fruit. I can't remember. I don't think Weller does, but it could. I could be wrong. I know Stag does, but Stag's like a different animal. Each Taylor's my faves. He's like, I want to do blind of Bland's, Each Taylor, Buffalo, Benchmark, and maybe Stag if I find one. Hint, hint. If you want to come over and do that blind here, I'll fucking line it up. I do that blind all the time. I remember when I did it with High Top, he was like, Blanton's just going to win. E.H. Taylor won for him, by the way. So now he's a big E.H. Taylor guy. I mean, overall, I'm not mad at this blend. I personally gravitate more towards the 1924 because I like the sweeter, like desserty vibes. E.H. Taylor, it's no slouch either. Don't get me wrong, but overall, I mean, I like it. It's unique. It's unique in its own way, for sure. That time I got all vanilla. He's like, you definitely get a nice charred barrel note. The age from the 1924 really helps the blend. The blend was not a bad note. Or the blend was not bad. No, no, no. I agree. I definitely get some char, like some oakiness. I don't know which one it's coming from, per se, but it almost is like throwing me off the oak part because I'm like, it's hit me like middle of the tongue, which is different for me. Found Stag for $100. I'm a local liquor or at a local. I'm tripping. I know you typed wrong. At a local liquor store is at a good price. $100 for Stag is a great price. Buy it. North Florida says Weller is the same mash bill as Pappy. I'm pretty sure. Max says you're correct, North. Buffalo Trace, weeded mash bill. It's like I'm a scientist. That's funny. Yeah, I like this blend. Not that I would do it on the regular for sure, but I think it gives like a different dynamic. What I would do next time. Am I tripping or is this finish like decently long? I'm not gonna say like long, but I'm gonna say like a good medium finish here. I like that a lot. I get more cherry than strawberry though. Um, right? Facts. One says one thing I do get is a slight grain note, which helps this taste like a full dessert in a glass. I I don't necessarily get that. I've had a few pours though, but it does feel more desserty. And- But where like the 1924 is like hardcore dessert, I feel like this is more like a flambe dessert where it has a little bit of that extra spice with a couple extra toppings on top. Like that's where I'm going with it. Um, I feel like the E.H. Taylor definitely helps on like the spice level, but not as much on the sweetness. What are we fucking doing? This is how I used to rock the camera, by the way, just one. But this camera's not dead. I don't understand what's happening. You know what I mean? Juan says the Titanic notes definitely stick around for a while. Oh, the Titanic. Bro, I thought you said Titanic. I'm dying. Taylor's oily, which has a very long finish, in my opinion. And typically, I don't remember ever saying the Taylor has a super long finish, but it's been a minute since I've just straight up drank it. Ricky says, I hope these tariffs are good for bourbon prices on the U.S. My cameras are losing its mind right now. One thing good about them, yeah. I mean, I'm here for it. Well, first says, I forgot I also have Eagle Rare. Such a great buy for $49.99 again. My boy Joker looking out. $49.99 is a decent price on that. Kurt Knight says, bro looks like a singer of a story of the year. Of story of the year? I don't even know what that is. If I look like a singer, then by all means, I got to figure out what's going on with this camera before I absolutely lose my mind. It's just running rampant on me here until the day I die. TAC says you both could be experienced different based on how long your bottles have been open as well, how much air are in the bottles. You're right. My E.H. Taylor's been open up for about a year now, almost a year, and I'm down to the bottom too. I've been savoring this one just because like I'm hoping to find like a single barrel or a straight from the barrel or something like that to replace it. You read that wrong as fuck? I'm dyslexic, bro. Bro looks like the singer of Story of the Year. Story of the Beard. All I have to do is sing now? I can sing, but I'm not going to do that. If we hit 100,000 subscribers tonight, I'd sing all night for you. But we're not going to do that, so it really doesn't matter. North Florida, I'm going to vote 13th Colony, 113, just because I just want to hear you talk good about it or bad about it for whatever reason. That and E.H. Taylor single barrel is your favorite, so save it for a good time. I'm sure you've had a couple pours tonight, so you know what I mean. Yeah, definitely. Just out of curiosity, one, how long's your bottle been open? Now that Max said that, I'm just curious. My bottle's been open a while. The 1924 it's fairly new, so the only one that's been open a while is that E.H. Taylor. It's probably my oldest. No, my Blanton's is still my oldest. Hanging on that one for dear life because I'm not paying secondary for another. Yeah, it's definitely different. Everybody's palate's different for sure. Like you're getting strawberries, I'm getting cherries, but I don't know if a lot of people know this. I have a tasting notes video. I don't remember it, but I'm pretty sure that I even say like tasting notes are just like it trigger memories, right? There's not actually cherries, not actually bananas in there. A lot of people will correlate those memories because a lot of people have bananas. Like growing up, I ate cherries all the time, so maybe that's why I correlate red fruits very closely to cherries. Kyle says, "Terrific! I'm back. I'm back here. Hey, welcome to the stream, baby." Welcome, Kyle. Welcome. Guys, if you're just now tuning in, drop a like on the stream. Subscribe if you haven't already. We're on the road to 25 hundo. When we hit it, we're going to do a little giveaway for the boys and girls. If there's girls, subscribe. 98% of my viewers are boys. 158 Tony Cat says, the bar I work at opened a 1914 Cedar book last month. And you had a pour. What'd you think? You know, that'd be one dangerous place for me to work as a bar. Not because, like, I would get hammered, but I would open up everything. For sure. They'd get something in, I'd be like, I got to put the pour topper on this one. You know what I mean? Like, I'd definitely get fired. Dying. I'm literally coughing death as you leave. Christian, appreciate you stopping by as always. Thank you for the support, and I will see you next week or on a different live stream when I do something else crazy. Tony Cat says delicious. Hey, there you go. Perks are working, you know. Perks are working the job. We're good. It's like still smooth. Juan says my age has been open for about a month. In 1924, it's been open about 2 months. So both your bottles are somewhat newer. This one's been open about 2 months. I got this in February. And E.H. Taylor I've just had for a while. I really like this bottle though. So it's a coleslaw kind of night. Well, who the fuck eats coleslaw? Bro, is this the guy who got coleslaw what was it? You went to Popeyes, right? You got coleslaw or KFC and got coleslaw. Is this guy? Is that Joshua? I can't remember. That guy. You can't be getting coleslaw instead of mashed potatoes or fries. Kind of missed a blend now. I'm kidding. I like the 1924. Kyle says KFC. Was that Joshua? Was Joshua's the coleslaw guy? Or was that Kyle? So no, it's Kyle. Kyle had the KFC, wasn't it? I appreciate you bringing it back up, Joshua. Just straight up ruined my night again. But I mean, I get it. Always bring a memory because I forgot. That's one of those memories you try to suppress. You know what I mean? Like somebody just shows up, goes, "Hey, I'm having KFC with coleslaw." What the fuck? Coleslaw, bro. You just said, "Hey, last week was pretty messed up for you. Want to re-traumatize you again." Appreciate you stopping by, Kyle, as always. Max says coleslaw is a condiment for barbecue sandwiches. He got some chicken and some coleslaw for some reason. Just mayonnaise on a spoon, you know? Just fucking. I'm dying. I'm dying here. All right, let's have a different pour. All right. I'm thinking we do. He's like, I'm sorry. Kyle. I'm just busting your balls. I'm just busting your balls. I'm traumatized. My car blew up. No. Well, hopefully you can get it fixed, or get a brand new one. One day I'll tell you boys about the time that I had a Raptor for 3 days. Unfortunately, that one is no longer with us. What are you guys thinking? We've been talking stag a lot tonight, so maybe I can do a stag. Russell's 15 is always good pour. I can do a little 13th Colony Double Oak or a Russell's 10. Those are kind of like my like creme de la creme bottles, in my opinion. I got some other ones that are great too. Don't get me wrong, but best dark drink. Cars troubles do suck. They're the worst. If you guys are just now tuning in, drop a little like, subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know, which one should we pour up? Stag, Russell's 15, 13th Colony Double Oak, or a little Jack Daniel's 10 year. About to say, do I have a clean Glen? I'm not gonna read that one out loud. I can go for Jack 10 then. Do the 10 year. See, Wander of my mind. North Florida read my mind. New Rift 8 year. Tony Cat. You gotta be here at the beginning of the streams. I made a whole New Rift 8 year rye old fashioned. You have to be here for this kind of stuff. You know what I mean? You've been missing out. Ricky says Russell's. Bro, what are we doing? I'm going to blast this camera through the fucking ceiling. R. Odom says Jack 10 year. We're doing the Jack 10 year, boys. We're doing the Jack 10 years. You haven't heard much about the 13th Colony Double Oak? Well, Max, I don't know how deep you are into that bourbon world, but 13th Colony is doing a lottery right now to win the ability to purchase their 2025 edition. It's even higher proof than the 2024. It's $250. Oh my god, I'm gonna lose my fucking mind. It's $250 for the whatever you want to call it, 13th Colony Double Oak, if you win it. But I think there's like 90 bottles. He says, "Ah man, ah man's right." Um, we do typically when we do the late night pours, we start with an old fashioned, kind of work our way through a couple pours. All right, let me switch the batteries or something. Something's wrong with this camera right now. We're going back to day one on the stream. It looks like my very first live stream. We had so much technical difficulties that I had to stop because I was losing my mind. It wasn't focusing. Now the camera won't just get right. Oh, the camera is overheating. Well, that makes sense. Well, that makes a lot of sense. Let me do this then. We're just going to rock the one camera for now. I didn't realize it was overheating. No. No. Let's do this. We're just going to have to rock one camera right now. How do I get the other one off? Like that. It's a little too close, don't you think? Maybe, hey, back up. There you go. We're going to rock that for now. So sorry if you're unhappy about it. Juan says, missed out on the 10-year. Earlier today, I want to live vicariously through you. Well, we're going to pour it up. North Florida says, I really like the nose on the 113. Palate sweet up front, but the finish leaves you with a little dry. We'll try a couple more sips. My palate may be off from the cigar. That's why I was saying, like, why I told you not to drink your age, Taylor, because cigar blends typically kind of throw my palate off. Same thing with drinking or smoking a cigar. Our Odom says, what batch is it? This is batch 3 of the 10-year. It's 97 proof. Max says overheating. I have fancy cameras. Like I got a Canon R5 rolling in fucking 8K right now, and then I have a R6 Mark II. The issue was I've been playing with settings all day. I'm trying to do different looks for the stream. So I may have left the wrong setting on, so it overheated. Tony Cat says, I made an old fashioned tonight with OKI Reserve. Okay, I see you. I love a good old fashioned. It needs a fan. You know what I mean? It may need some clear ice. You know? So, you never know. Ralph says, around, how many bottles do you think, you have right now? See, this is the issue, guys. I'm just busting your balls, Ralph, but you guys think that I'm like I can't speak and I can't read the comments. You guys be typing wrong and I can't read it. You know? He's like, how many bottles do you think you have right now? I feel like my selection is small. I have about 30-ish bottles. LOL. Then again, I'm pretty sure we all have a problem. 30 bottles is a decent selection, so don't let anybody tell you wrong. I have way more than that. That's not like a flex. Because even me, like, I think my selection is too small at times, because some people come in here and be like, you have this, and I won't have any of it. Then the opposite. People come in and I have everything. I have around, I had 105 at New Year's. So I probably have about 120, 130-ish right now. In that ballpark. So I'll have around 130 bottles, give or take, like 3. This Jack 10, the one thing that I'm like, Jack for me normally isn't like super complex, right? It's just kind of like whiskey, you know, that's how I kind of describe it. This Jack 10 is almost, to me, feels like it would be a cigar blend. I'm not saying it is, but that's what it feels like, right? No, Floor says, I don't know what you're talking about. My typing is perfect. It looks perfect to me. Max says I can't keep more than three. So there's pros and cons to that, right? The biggest pro is you get to drink and enjoy a full bottle without even thinking about it, right? One of my biggest issues, and everybody's like, oh, you have so much whiskey, it must be so nice. Sometimes it is a blessing in disguise. I'm so glad I have so much whiskey and that I'm able to afford that much whiskey and all that kind of stuff. But at the same time, you know how hard it is to choose what to drink sometimes? Like it's literally mission impossible. I was watching the Gator game the other night and I ran in here. I go, what am I gonna drink? It took me 5 fucking minutes. I was like, 1924, boom. And that's when I gravitate to either one of two things: my newest bottle or a bottle I really enjoyed recently. So it's different. North Florida. Oh, I read that. Tony Cat says cork soaker. Hey, I issue with having a lot of bottles is it's hard for me to continue to flip them all. So whenever I have them on stream, you'll just see me just being weird with my bottles. But yeah, I wet the cork, make sure it gets nice and moist up, and then we're good to go. Yeah, bro. This thing is like a little bit of tobacco, a lot of leather, some sweetness too. It almost reminds me of like a super young and lighter version of that 13th Colony Double Oak almost, just off the top of my head. Wesley says, I'm a cheater. I use an app to choose my pours. You know, that would be smart. I like to punish myself sometimes. But what's the app though? Just in case I wanna dabble around with it. Because it sounds like an easy way. Because off stream, no joke, it is it's difficult. Because like there's so many great bottles in here. You know, I mean, no joke. Like there's a lot of bottles that I like for a long time. I was like, oh, I really want to have this, and now I have it, and I almost don't have the time to drink it. So, Raph says that he was dipping out of the stream watching somebody else, but he wants to know, did you get the Jack for MSRP? Sorry if this was answered. I missed parts of the stream. So I did get this for MSRP. So the way I got this one in particular, there's a store here local in Jacksonville called Wild Whiskeys. They do points, and their points are fairly fair, right? You don't have to spend like $1 million to get a normal bottle. Um, I believe I spent 500 points, 450 points, something like that, and I got to buy this for MSRP, which was like less than $100 or $100, something like that. I can't remember. It's been a while now. But kind of same thing with the Havana. I bought it for points. So it's yeah, MSRP for sure. Honestly, there's not a lot that I have that I actually spent secondary on because I'll wait. You know, I don't mind waiting to find the best price or finding something close to MSRP because I don't want the same effect that I had with the Blantons. Everybody loves Blantons, but it only goes so far. The more you spend on it, the more you're also like, is it really worth it? Right? And I spent 110 and it's not worth 110. You know what I mean? It's worth MSRP and I'm okay with spending a little bit more because I get it. It's a competitive market. At the same time, you always feel better about the pour when it's MSRP. Wesley says only drams. I'll have to check that out. Tony Cat says, what a great name. I know, right? You just got bottles out there taking their labels off. Like, what are we doing? The Jack 10 is solid. It's a really good pour. My only downside is I know the 12 is like 107, and that would be like perfect proof wise. Wesley says you can scan just about any barcode and add your bottle to your collection, check reviews, project pricing, MSRP, all that good stuff. What are you doing? Selling me right now? Like, what's happening? Wesley's out here promoting only drams. Do you work for them or something? I don't even understand what's happening. Jason says the Jack 10 was so bad I traded it. Jason. Why was it bad to you, though? I'm curious. I mean, everybody has their own palate. Don't get me wrong. Jason's entitled to his opinion. Even if I think that opinion's wrong. But was it, you just didn't like, did you not like the leather feel? Did you not like the tobacco feel? Or was it just overall just not even close to what you were wanting? And then also, what did you trade it for? He's like, no, I just recently discovered it. Well, I appreciate you letting us discover it as well. I've heard of it, but I've never like looked into it. I didn't know what it was, but now I know, thanks to you. So I'll probably download it. That sounds fun. I mean, how long it will take me to scan my room would be fucking nuts. Bro, if Jason left without telling me what he traded it for, I'm gonna be mad. Jason, what are we doing? What'd you trade it for? What did we trade it for, Jason? I'm not even mad. I'm not even mad. Just tell me what you traded it for. All right. Let's do Stag. Oh, actually, what's his name? Mac's still here. Let's do 13th Colony. Let me see if my camera's done overheating itself. And then that way I can... That battery's dead. Didn't I just change this? Nope, that battery is dying. Let me check this one. Uno momento. There we go. Close enough. Yeah, definitely need to order those things. Oh no. Still? Oh, I'm stupid. That's my bad. There we go. Jason's gonna come in and talk shit about it and then leave. He didn't even tell us what he traded it for. I'm disappointed. Northwest says, having the wife try the 113, she likes it neat. Just finished my pour. Okay. Overall thoughts, North Florida. Just gotta. I'm tripping. I don't know what he's talking about. What do you think about it? Is it good pour, bad pour, unique pour? Give me like a one sentence. Wesley says, I can't find the 10 or the 12. There's a 14 sitting down the road for 700. Let that thing sit. I'm not spending 700. Raph says, I saw a few streams ago you pulled out a Green River Full Proof. Have you ever had the single barrel? That's a bang for your buck. No, but I need to get more. The Green River stuff's money. I want the weeded and the single barrel and all of it. There he is. Jason's here. He said, I traded for a Hogback Distillery Oak and an Aspen Bourbon Cask Strength. Okay, got a little 2-for-1 action. Okay. I take it those are bottles you really like. So, I mean, I don't know price-wise if that's good, but I'm here for it. I really like the Jack. But I also like it because it does feel very kind of like leather tobacco feeling. Like I like that vibe for the Jack. It just kind of fits right for me. but it's not for everybody, right? The Jack 12 would have been better because the proof would have just that much more. The 97 proof is a little knock to it comparatively, but Jason said, but I did. I'm glad you didn't leave, Jason. Just got a little sidetracked. That's my bad. I got eager. I wanted to know what you're switching out for. That's all. I didn't want you to leave me hanging. Nux. And Max says that bottle looks hard to knock over. You know what? I put this bottle on my little spinny thing when I was shooting a little reel for it. Pain in the ass to do it because it fall over quick. Tony Cat says, let's pretend he traded the 10 for a Pete Rose rookie card. I mean, that would be fucking solid. I would probably do that trade. Hill Billington back in the chat says, just got home from Hard Truth single barrel rye pick. Okay, why don't you just flex on us a little bit? I get it. Jason says, I picked the bottle up for $150. I don't like leather or tobacco. Okay. You got it really close to MSRP-ish, right? $150. I mean, it's not a bad price. I'd probably pay $150 for the 12. But I get it. If you don't like the leather and tobacco, it's not even the same ballpark for you because it does have those like deep leather tobacco. It does have some sweetness on the finish, but it's very like, I like to call those like manly vibes because it feels like you've been woodworking all day. That's the vibe it gives off. Like you're woodworking, throw a little Margaret in, hammering something. You know what I mean? So I get it. If like that's not like the vibe you want to go for, then the Jack 10's not your vibe. I don't know about the 12 or any of those, but yeah, the 10's not your vibe. And Billy said, "Flex Truth, that's a badass pick experience." I mean, I'm here for it. I'd love to do that, but I don't have friends like that. Wesley says, I got short barrel the After Swarm this week. Honey barrel rye. Very good. I'd rather buy 7 of those than $700 on the Jack 14. Agreed. But that's also like one of those things where, god damn, that cork's in there. Where it's like, sure, you can have 7 in one bottle, or you can have 2 different expressions. I'm not saying spend $700 on Jack. But what I mean is like, I have those same battles all the time where I'm like, man, do I really want to spend this much money on a bottle? Or do I want to get like 2 or 3 other bottles? Right? Like, what's the best for the channel? What's best for my bar? Like, you know what I mean? Like, so I do that all the time. So. Yes, you know. I don't think I've actually ever had any of the Hard Truth stuff, so. Jason, just in case you're still here, this bottle we're talking about, 13th Colony Double Oak, this is not for you either. All 13th Colony anything is all leather, like straight up leather shoe, straight out of China, just bam, and tobacco. This one is more. It's better than the Jack for sure. Higher proof, a little bit more sweetness, but it's still like heavy leather. And not like its own unique way. But I don't think you would like it though. Just wanted to make sure you knew that. But if you want to enter in for the 2025 and just give me the giveaway, I mean, sure. I'm kidding. I wasn't expecting the proof for a second. Leather shoe, for sure. I know it's a weird tasting note, but it's straight up leather shoe. If you ever had the 13th Colony regular Southern straight bourbon whiskey, leather shoe all day. My wife, who doesn't even do tasting notes, doesn't like bourbon or whiskey, she popped in, had a little tasting note. She goes, "That's a shoe." Mega says $200 for a store pick Stag Junior, a good deal. Store pick, maybe, but probably not. Like, I get why the price is that high, but I mean, they're just kind of putting a bow on a pig. Like, normal MSRP is a way less. They're jacking up because that's what they think they can get for it. 150 would be more acceptable, but at the end of the day, Mega, like what you feel okay spending on it is good because the bottle's good regardless. Stag's good, the proof's good. It's just if you feel like that's a good price, then buy it. If you don't feel like it's not, then don't buy it. You can find a Stag cheaper than that somewhere else. Hill Billington says, I'm muled a 13th single and maple. Didn't try them. North Florida got me a 13th maple. I have to pick it up, or we gotta get in touch soon to get it. But he has one for me. He also says Stag over 150 is a rip. I don't like how I'm like looking away from the camera because every time I do that, I'm like, I look sideways. Anyways, boys, if you haven't already, drop a like, subscribe to the channel. We are going to do a giveaway of some kind for not just our members, but also for the subscribers who just kind of watch the channel as well when we hit 2,500 subscribers. So if you haven't, what are we doing, bro? I mean, if you like bourbon, you like whiskey, this is the place for you. Jason says, I saw you pour 13th Colony Double Oak. I went down to try my Southern Straight bourbon whiskey that I have. And you were right about the notes, but I think the 10-year Jack just amplifies those so much. Really? Fuck me, bro. Jason, hold on. Well, don't fuck me, but hang on. No, I'm like 90% sure my bottle is hardcore leather. What's in here? I should have a new Glen, but when we're almost 3 hours into live streaming tonight, you know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna run out. Mine's all actually, it's all leather, but it has a nice sweetness actually. It's really good actually. I'm a big fan of that. That might be something else in my Glen. God damn it. I might have had 1924 in there. I'm running out of glasses, boys. I'm going to use my fancy roulette wheel glass. Sorry, everybody pick a number. Tony Cat says, thanks for the pour. It's got to bounce, Tony. Hey, we go live every Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. We do some other stuff too, but that's our main stream. So make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you next week. 21 red, if anybody guessed it. It's not in the Glen, I know. Give me a second. You know, Jason, I think you're right. No. Yes, but no. So the Southern Straight is 95 proof. 2 proof points less than the Jack. The Jack is like light years darker. This has more leather, but I think that has way more like leather tobacco mixing versus this is like leather and sweetness. So I can get where like Jason, for example, is like, hey, like I like this more, right? I can see that, understandably. So I like both, but I also think that 13th Colony Southern Straight is I think the leather lightened up after I opened it. When I first opened it, it was nuts. It was all I punched you in the face leather. I couldn't even believe it. So, but yeah, I agree with your kind of statement here. Jason says I can find the 10 normally for that 150 and the 12 for 199. Most people are all about their price. I mean, if I could find the 12 for 199 right now, I probably would buy it. The Jack 10 for 150, I probably wouldn't. Because I believe like normal price for the Jack 10 is like 100, and like the Jack 12 is like 150, and I'm okay with an increase. But the Jack 10, since I have it, I'd rather go for the 12. But I haven't had the 12 either, so I can't really speak on it. Very leathery, and you love it. Hey, I'm here for it. Juan says Billington Stag over 150 is a rip. Max says just rinse the Glen with water and drink it. I mean, I'm here. I mean, I have a bunch of glasses, but I don't. We're working. The background may look cool, but I don't have a sink in here. I'm in a bedroom, but I will have a sink in here soon. I'm gonna work on it. I got you. I'm gonna work on it. I was just more pissed that I poured it into that Glen than realizing it was mixed, rather than realizing it first. See, Jason's kind of spot on with what I was just saying. He's like, I think 13th Colony has enough sweetness to it that I go back to it every once in a while. I don't go to it all the time either, but just from that one pour, it had more sweetness than the Jack, and everything within balance, right? Right? Because if you go all what I call manly vibes, tobacco, leather, stuff like that, and if you don't add in enough sweetness or enough proof for that matter, then yeah, I could see it getting pushed one way rather than the other. But if you add in like the right kind of balance with sweetness and kind of manly vibes, then you get a good pour. So I think you're spot on with what you're saying from like your palate standpoint. He's like, oh, also that price point thing. Yeah, I mean, I agree. The 13th Colony is quite a bit cheaper. North Florida says time for E.H. Taylor single barrel. That 113 was good enough. Hey, I was trying to hold you off from it, but you run wild, baby. Max says I meant the bottle water you have. I'm just saying, guys. I get ripped in the comments after the fact when you guys type wrong and I read it wrong because everybody's like, "Ah, he's fucking hammered." You guys type wrong. I have to keep saying that so that way people don't yell at me later. He says that's what he always does. I agree, my bottled water, but I need this for drinking. Also, where was I gonna dump the water? Was I gonna drink bourbon water? That'd be fucking gross. I get where you were going with it, but the choices were made. It's good. Yeah, I used all my glands. Normally under this, I have all my glasses, but I didn't do that this stream, so. Why is very close to T? You're not wrong. I'm just saying, it's just, I read it as you type it sometimes, and then I have to like correct it in my mind. It doesn't always work. So, anyway, boys, if you're just now tuning in, I'm always plugging, so don't worry. If you guys are a dad or a new dad or expecting dad, and you like the Dad Gang merch, not just the hat. This is a little camo hat. They have different brands too, not just camo. They also have the shirt, little Dad Gang stuff. There is a link in the description if you want to save yourself 15% off. I do have an affiliate link. I do get kickback from that, but they've never once told me to do it. I just get kickback through my own little link. I love their stuff. You'll never see me not in a Dad Gang hat. Just always plug. It's like, yes, bourbon water. Fuck that. Fuck that. Can you imagine 1924 mixed with? I mean, 1924 mixed with some water wouldn't be bad, but enough to rinse a glass. I'd have to down like a shot of like gross water. Let me check one thing real quick. I do have a question. right? Has anybody seen like a bunch of ads on this stream in particular? Not other streams, just this one. Because I felt like the last one had a lot. And I'm trying to figure out what YouTube does with their ads. Because I don't want you guys getting beat up like that. Because the last one from my side felt like it was a lot. I can't see them, but I put my phone up so I can check it. But has there been a bunch of ads in this? Or has it been none or just moderate? Let me know. But anyway, there's somebody, I can't remember who. Ooh, shit, I almost poured it. That has 13th Colony Double Oak that says there's a meaty tasting note to it. I don't get meaty at all. I get leather, tobacco. I do get some sweetness on this one though. Like it definitely hits you with that sweetness, like caramel and like some cinnamon because it has a little bit of spice. But the proof being like 133, yeah, 133.74, it has a good amount of ethanol on the nose that like kind of singes you out. So you can't get too farther from that. I mean, you can, you just got to be better than me. One ad every 30 minutes, not bad. I mean, that is not bad. I don't even think it should be that much though. So the YouTube is pumping it a lot more than I'm telling it to. But thanks for the heads up. I like this bottle a lot. The only issue is like when you get above 125 proof, how high do you need it? I believe they're pumping out like 140 proof plus bottle for the 2025 edition. Our says ads are kind of loud compared to your volume. That is good to know because I can adjust that. I can't do that midstream, but that might be because I'm not yelling right now because my kid's on the other side of the room and I think he's sick, so I'm being a lot quieter. The only complaint here, I get it. No. I mean, I love the feedback. That's what we're here for. That's why I ask. See, nothing I can do. There is something I can do off stream. I can I can adjust the volume after the fact to try and match closer. Because even if I talk, I can adjust my volume to try and match that. So it's definitely, I'll look into that off stream for sure. Because I hate that. I hate when you're watching something, it's like one good volume, you got it perfect. Then all of a sudden, like a fucking Ziploc commercial comes on. It's like, hey, you ever had Ziplocs before? It's like, yeah, I have. Like, shut up. So I get it. So what we're gonna do is one last pour, and then we're gonna end the stream, kind of kick back, relax. I'm gonna go eat some pizza to be honest. But let me know in the chat if you know what I have as far as bourbon wise. Let me know what you want me to pour up next, and we'll pour that up for our final pour. Solomon Lucas says, "What we doing here? I'm drunk." Hey, Lucas. Solomon, I don't know which one you go by. You came to the right place. I'm just saying. If you had a couple drinks, sipping on a little something, that's what we do here. We drink a little bourbon, a little whiskey, sometimes cocktails. He's like, and for that, I'm out. All right, see you later. No Floor says, you know, I'm an engineer with that same audio engineering experience. If you're hiring, I work for Restless 15. Hey, get on over here. A little audio engineering. I didn't know that. That's a fun job to have in general. YC Slime says, whiskey. Hey, welcome to stream, baby. Somebody was talking about the Nulu Double Oak Weeded earlier. I could go for that, or we can do something different if you have a different recommendation. Y'all let me know in the chat what you want me to pour up, and I can pour up that for the final pour. Either that, or I could do like a New Rift Kentucky Straight Malted Rye Whiskey, sherry finish, barrel proof. That's always a good one. If you want me to do different, I could do Jack Daniel's single barrel proof rye. That one I haven't had in a while. Or we can go like veering off. We can do like a Wild Turkey 70th anniversary. Or we can go down the sweetness route and do like a short barrel, like bee's knees, or even the sap squash. Scott says, "Do you have an infinity bottle?" I do. I have this. This is This is definitely a bourbon version, and it has everything from Buffalo Trace, Woodford's Double Oak to. I try to keep it higher proof for whatever random reason. Jack Daniel's single barrel proof rye. Yeah, I don't know. It just has. I don't know. It has a bunch of stuff, to be honest. Jason says somebody give some suggestions because I wasn't here for what he has. I have everything, but that's because I didn't go over it tonight. But the infinity bottle though isn't like a. That's a good last one. I mean, it is. I mean, I haven't touched it in a while though. So let's do this. Let's pour this one out. We could pour up the infinity barrel. I'd have to give you all tasting notes because who knows what it's gonna taste like right now. I know there was, for example, there was Jack Daniel's single barrel proof, Old Forester 1920, E.H. Taylor, a little splash of Blanton's because people kept talking about it. Woodford's Double Oak, 1910, Benchmark Bonded went in there too. New Rift single barrel, still Austin cast strength. Jason says, "You pour your infinity, I'll pour mine." I mean, I wish we could just swap. I could try your infinity barrel, and you could try mine. But here, take a sip. Tell me the notes. I'm kidding, obviously. Add some to it. What else is in here? Let me try it. That might strike the memory up. Honestly, just so you guys know, I try to get everything to be 100+ proof because at the time I didn't have a lot of like higher proof stuff, so I was trying to get something in that realm. I mean, that's really good. It definitely feels more like a double oak. Wow. Okay. Fuck me. What a good pick, Jason. Good pick. Honestly, it feels like a double oak version of the Jack Daniels because I get a chocolate note, but I also get like a little proof on the back end that you get from like that Jack Daniels vibe. I definitely had Eagle Rare in there as well because I get some of that oak that I normally get from Eagle Rare. I also think I put some of the St. Augustine in here as well. The St. Augustine single barrel that I had that was like 115 proof. Somebody said viscosity. It is. I wouldn't say it's like thick, but it's not thin either. It's kind of like, let's say it's between thin and medium. We'll say it's like a low medium. That's an easy way to kind of gauge that because it's not thick for sure. It's oily, but it's not thick. Right? A little pun there. A little mom jokes in there. As far as option, it kind of just dissipates down. Legs are nice if you're being super picky. The legs are fairly nice on it, but any weeders in there? I may have put, I don't know 100%. There is a video like way back, probably almost a year now. I may have put some of the Ben Holiday soft red wheat in here, but it would have been just like 2 ounces. Yeah, he says a good color on it. Yeah, no, it has a decent color. It's like, I mean, fairly dark to be honest. Um, but on the nose, you get that banana from the Jack Daniels. To be honest, it feels more like sweeter Jack Daniels. Um, what else would I have put in here? Oh, I put Redwood Empire Pipe Dream in here too. Um, the Cast Strength. Sorry, Cast Strength Pipe Dream 101. And then I put the Still Austin Cast Strength. What else went in there? Oh, that's what it was. Let me just pull the bottle down. Bardstown Single Barrel. This is 126.8 proof. This one was one of the second or third bottles that ever had that have a chocolate note on it. Because one of the biggest notes on here is like chocolate banana. Chocolate banana with like high proof. And oak. I don't have one of those proof testers, but I got to tell you, it's got to be high. Because that drank higher proof than even the 13th Colony I just had at 133. It's good. Chocolate, bananas. I'd say still some caramel, a little spice on the back end, like baking spice style. There's no rye in here though, just so you know. Um, if I had to guess proof, we're gonna say 120 even, just to make it sound better. But it's drinking around 120-ish. Jason says all about the Redwood Empire juices they put out. This whole shelf's Redwood Empire, besides the one Woodford's on the end. I have all of them. I love Redwood. Scott says, "Nice dude. Cheers. Cheers to you, Scott. As always, great recommendation." He's like, "Do I have any iron root?" I do not. I do not. I have a lot, but I don't have iron root. What should we add in here? I'm down to add in like maybe this Peerless, because this Peerless was the one that impressed me the most this month. And I love a good double oak. A double oak's like my go-to for almost anything. So we can add like a quick little splash of this. That's enough. That's enough. I just fucking dumped that in there. You need to look them up. I mean, I can look them up. I can take a gander. Let's add one more into the single barrel. So we added in Peerless, double oak. So we have our double oak fix. Let's add in one more. I mean, just to kind of like be even, let's add in the Penelope barrel strength. I know it's MGP. Bro, right? The Peerless is fucking dark. It's way darker than I'm used to. Like, look at it on this camera. This bottom camera is lit up like super well. This top camera is a little bit more accurate as far as lighting goes, right? Because if I threw my hat backwards, you can see that my mic just got switched, but you can see my face is lit up well. This one's like super bright because I have a whole separate light for it. Look how dark it is. Like, bro, it looks like espresso. Mr. Joker says, "Hey, what's up, fam? Checking in. How's the night going? No TC? I don't know. Tux looks like he took the night off. I don't know. Let's add in just a splash of the Penelope barrel strength. This is 114. So it still kind of kicks on by with the higher proof stuff. So Joker's one of the OGs that kind of pops in and out from time to time, but we consider him an OG. He's also the only one to beat me in a bet on the stream for a bottle. So, um, hey Joker, the fight's tomorrow. What you doing, bro? I gotta earn my money back. So, what are we doing? I'm kidding. I may go live for the fights tomorrow. I think that'd be fun. It looks like Guinness up in there. I know, right? North Florida, you gotta let me know. We gotta either have you come over here and just have like fun in the playground, or I gotta bring you samples. Scott says it looks like coffee. I know. But it's delicious. It's delicious. This is batch 19. It's 108.4 proof. It's great. It's great. I couldn't be more happy about that bottle. That's the flagship. Okay. Scott's out. Scott, do you work for them or something? Are you trying to plug, or you just really like them? Max says I'm taking my 1920 to watch the fight with the boys tomorrow. That's a great bottle. I love 1920. It was one of my favorites for a while. It just kind of got phased out because I have a lot. Joker says I'm down to dabble. Let's do it up. And much appreciated on the OG label. I mean, you know you OG at this point. Texas native brand. Oh yeah, okay, I have heard of them. My bad. I'm out here just fucking. I'm horrible with names. If you guys don't, my camera just fucking died. What's happening? All right, I think that's my cue to get off the stream because I'm gonna break the camera in a second. What state are y'all in? I'm in Jacksonville, Florida. I have no idea how to fix what's happening because it shouldn't be happening. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, Northwest is coming old fashion. We will pay a visit soon. Working on the details. Just gotta have High Top come by too. I mean, I agree. It's hard to get him here in general. But let's I think tomorrow I'll go live for the fights. I think I want to watch those. Bro, this camera done for. I don't know what's wrong with it. So, cam is good, bro. No. My second cam keeps dying. It keeps turning off on my side. Carson says, "What's up, drunk fam? Cheers. Have a good night." Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna go live tomorrow. We'll watch the fights. It'll be more of like a watch party style thing. We'll hang out, have some pours. I'll bet on the fights. You can either follow me, bet with me, or bet against me. It doesn't matter. So, again, if you haven't already, ladies and gentlemen, like, subscribe, do all that jazz. And I will see you, boys and girls, tomorrow and on the other side. Peace.